Hey guys, what's going on? I'm following up on a Jeff Williams Atomic Trades review that I just published a day or so ago on my blog. So if you want to check it out, there'll be a link in the description below. You can go and check it out. I'm a member, so I'm basically going through and seeing if this is something that I can recommend to you guys, or if it's something that maybe you want to hold off on. It's a fairly new program. I really like Jeff Williams. I think I mentioned this in a previous YouTube video that I did. I think he's a fantastic trader, a really legitimate and transparent guy. And I just want to see if this Atomic Trades is going to yield the same sort of amazing results that we've seen from Market Navigator. If you don't know what Market Navigator is, I'll leave a link in the description. Go and check it out. I've done a review on this. It's a really fantastic service that focuses on SPY day trades using options. And so it is just phenomenal. His track record is really, really great. He puts everything he has into these trades, these SPY trades, and I think it's something that you'll find very useful. So go and check it out in the description below. Anyway, I wanted to talk about the Atomic Trades service, partly because it's new, partly because it's penny stocks, which is actually fairly unusual these days. When I first started trading a decade ago, it was almost all just penny stock trades and services, people like Timothy Sykes, all just buying penny stocks, things under $1 or under $5. And Atomic Trades is bringing that back. So some people don't like options because of the complexity introduced by the Greeks, which is understandable. For a long time, I was kind of intimidated by those things and just kind of wanted to stick to the underlying shares. But I also wanted to make oversized returns, right? So you don't want to buy Apple or Microsoft. You want to buy small, volatile stocks that can double overnight. And the example I wanted to show you today from Atomic Trades, which was alerted in the War Room, which is Jeff Williams' chat room, not to be confused with Andrew Tate's The War Room service. So the trade that I wanted to look at was one that I've traded over the years. So it kind of comes and goes over time, and you come back to these trades and you're like, oh yeah, that one's now this price. And this one is a little known stock called TTO. So this is it right here, TTO, TTOO even. And so it's pretty low penny stockish, right? I mean, so this was the day that we're looking at yesterday. And in the War Room, which is the chat room that Jeff Williams uses for alerting these things, he alerted close to the end of the day and said, hey, I'm looking to get into this around 0.24-ish, I think. So let's just double check that on the Raging Bull site here. Looking to buy TTOO if we pull back to the 0.23, 0.24 area for a run towards 0.3 from the next push. So that was like a pre-alert, and that was also what he was talking about live, like on his live stream in the chat room. He was talking about that, which is pretty interesting. So he bought 5,000 shares of TTOO at 0.24. So this is only, what is that, a quarter of 5,000. It's like $1,500 worth of TTO at 0.247. And this was at 3:48 Eastern time. So if we go to the chart, that was yesterday. Just kind of zoom in here. 3:48 Eastern was 2:48 my time, which is around here. So he was purchasing towards the end of the day yesterday, whilst alerting us live in the War Room in Atomic Trades. And you can see after hours, which remember is the thing that we forget. If you're an options trader, you forget that you can trade these things after hours, which is a huge advantage. You can see after hours, we just had this really nice trend up, and it already hit 0.4 from 0.24. Almost a double, right? 0.2 is here, 0.4 is here. So almost a double pre-market this morning from this overnight swing trade, which is just utterly awesome. So you're getting that advantage of options with this leverage. It's not leverage, but this volatility, and able to make almost double your money in the space of like a few hours, which is really cool. I remember trading this like years ago. You look at 1 year, 1 day. I was trading it way back here. And it, of course, with most of these penny stocks, long term, they're horrendous investments and they die miserably. which is fine because we only care about what happens in the short term for these short term moves, and this was phenomenal. If we zoom out here, you can see the amazing gains here. So, you know, Jeff was telling subscribers here, and then look at this thing all the way up to here overnight, which is really nice. So that's a huge win for him. In this atomic trade service, he does use the fact that penny stocks can move like that to make significant gains, which is awesome. He did sell way too early, like I always do as well, unfortunately. And hopefully some subscribers held this a little bit longer. At the same time, he was doing CVNA. These were actually options, so he does do options as well, and on these penny stocks, or at least he does options as well. So let's look at CVNA. It didn't move nearly as much. CVNA is obviously not a penny stock, but he does take options on other stuff, and so you can see he got a bit of a move from the close yesterday to the open this morning, where the volatility and implied volatility would be higher too, and premiums would have gone up nicely as well. So this was not nearly as impressive as the TTOO though that he did, and that seems to be the bread and butter of the atomic trade system. So yeah, I was quite impressed. I want to make sure that I just take some snapshots for you guys, let you see like what types of trades he's doing, how he's alerting them. This is what he had to say about the TTOO and CVNA trades. He emailed this out around the time he was taking these trades in the war room. And so he said, stock ideas for today is TTOO, APCX. TTO is breaking out of a higher high and a higher low pattern on the daily chart, and also a previous resistance level on the 0.18. I like this now for a possible test of the 0.3 area. And he's right about that, it hit 0.4. My trade here would be to look for an entry around 0.2 or 0.22. Didn't quite get that, he had to go a little bit higher than that, but that's okay. That's just trading, right? With a sell target in the 0.28 to 0.3 area. APCX, he didn't take this trade. I'm not really sure why. I've got so many things going on. I'm in all of the Raging Bull services and all these other services. Plus I run some services as well. It's difficult to keep track of everything. His options idea for the day, though, he did say was CVNA, and this was before he took it. CVNA is up big, almost 5%, and the markets are getting slammed. I think it's important to remember here, the markets did get, and are still getting kind of slammed over the last day or two. And I think it's important to see that, you know, Jeff's pulling profits out of the market, even though the markets are down. And that's one thing with the penny stocks that I do like, is they are insulated to some degree from the market. So over the last few years, I've gotten used to trading things like AMD, NVDA, SPY itself, and you know, you get used to kind of being at the mercy of the markets, but you forget there is a world out there. They don't care about the market. The market can get down, and these stocks can go up. And TTOO was one of them, which is really cool. And I think it's something worth looking into if you guys want to check it out. I'll leave a link in the description below for the review. I'm going to put this as an example because I think it's a really good example of why you might want to join something like Atomic Trades, even in today's markets. Let me just have a look at the markets overall. Let's have a look. So this is good news for me. Let's have a look. So for you guys that haven't seen it, Lance from Theta Traders and I, from thetatraders.com, and I have been basically taking trades on the micros. So basically we're selling puts on the micros, and this is something that has yielded basically 100% success rate for me so far. So I'm looking at this one, and I'll leave a link in the description below if you want to come and check out thetatraders.com. The overnight, basically we are usually selling way out of the money. So usually we're selling stuff that's way, 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 way down. So like way down at 4,200, 4,100, or even 4,000 right down here. We have a high risk, high reward strangle that's hopefully going to expire tomorrow without being tested. This is the first level here, and the second level is right here. And so this will be set to basically be a gain of several percent over just the course of a week. So I'm pretty excited to see if this market can continue to rally and close tomorrow above these two levels. It's not the end of the world if it closes below this level, for example, because we know how to manage that, and Lance is like an expert at managing how to do these trades. So I'll leave a link in the description if you want to join us. I really highly recommend it if you're really busy. So if you're really busy and you only want to make like just a few percent a month, but like really chilled out, doing really not much work at all, like nothing essentially, just following a couple of alerts every weekend, you put out a couple of futures alerts, then it's something that I found to be extremely lucrative and extremely laid back. So even when the market's taking a dump, we're still safe, even on the highest risk strangles that Lance is putting out. So pretty excited about that. I'll leave a link in the description if you want to check that out. Atomic Trades, I do recommend it. I think it's something that is useful if you want to just trade stocks. I think it's really good. I think you'll learn a lot from Jeff Williams. He's a really great guy. I'm actually going to try and get him on the channel probably in the next week to talk about some of his trading. You know, just try and do like basically an interview style thing that I've done with Jason from Raging Bull and Jeff from Raging Bull. And I think having Jeff on is going to be awesome because I think he's a really fantastic guy, really legitimate trader, and I think it's going to be something that you guys will like. So I'm going to do that probably in the next week or so, so keep an eye out for that as well. Anyway, hopefully that's helpful, and I'll talk to you guys soon.